local ski hill closed for the day.
She was rushed as soon as possible to the Wakefield hospital. We're fearing for her life.
After a terrible incident during a school trip yesterday, the girl's clothing entangled in the chairlift at Vorlage. She is now in critical condition at CHEO. No relief in sight for transit woes.
I don't see in any world where we could achieve 21 days with stage 1 and Eastern Extension.
The problems continue on Line 1, and the target for the East Extension now pushed to spring. And paying more for higher education.
Kind of is what it is, I guess. Apply for more grants and do what you can.
Ontario lifts the tuition freeze and revamps OSAP. Less money for grants, relying more on loans, something students call a double whammy. Good evening. We begin tonight with the latest on a tragic incident at Vorlage Ski Hill. A 13-year-old girl from Ottawa is fighting for her life in hospital after she was seriously injured while attempting to get off the chairlift. And a warning, the details in this story are distressing to hear. Emergency crews were called to the ski hill near Wakefield just after 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. CTV's Tyler Fleming joins us live in studio with more. Tyler.
Yeah, Patricia, police say the young girl had reached the ski hill's summit and was about to disembark the chairlift when her clothing became entangled, leaving her hanging above the mountain. And again, the details are distressing. Vorlage Ski Hill remains closed after a disturbing chairlift incident left a 13-year-old girl with serious injuries.
Lots of people, lots of kids on site, and it was very difficult. I've been doing this for 29 years, and I have to say, it's one of the most horrific scenes that we had to do.
Police say on Wednesday afternoon, shortly after 2 p.m., the young teen from Ottawa, there on a school trip, was about to get off the chairlift at the top of the mountain, but a piece of clothing got caught in the chair. She was alone on the chairlift, hanging above the mountain. Witnesses were quick to help, but she was up too high.
And at one point, it was decided, unfortunately, to send her back down the hill, hanging from the chair. Let's just say that the first officer that arrived on scene, it was very difficult. They managed to gather people and do CPR, and there was 2 doctors skiing that came and helped.
The girl was rushed to Wakefield Hospital, less than a kilometer away, then transported to CHEO, where she remains in critical condition.
I just started hearing the police cars and fire trucks.
In 12 years living beside the ski hill, Cecil Damour says he's never seen anything this serious.
It was severe, and it's unfortunate. You go out for a nice day to enjoy the hill, and this happens.
In a statement on social media, Centre Vorlage says it is cooperating with police and are deeply saddened by the event, and that sincere thoughts are with the family. No word on when Vorlage will reopen as police, along with Quebec's chairlift inspectors, investigate.
We're just trying to figure it out exactly what happened, if it was equipment failure or, decision making. So we're looking at all the aspects, but it's going to take a few days.
Police say the region's mental health support teams have been deployed, offering support to witnesses as well as first aid responders. And we know some schools have postponed their ski trips. In a statement tonight, the Ottawa Carleton District School Board says mental health supports are available for students. Patricia.
CTV's Tyler Fleming live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, turning now to Tumbler Ridge, BC, where a shattered community is trying to support each other after the horrific mass shooting at a high school. Tonight, parents of the victims are sharing their stories as they try and cope with the unimaginable grief of losing their children. A memorial is growing for the victims as people come to lay flowers, cards, and teddy bears. Tumbler Ridge is a small town of just 2,400 people where residents say everyone knows each other. Police have now confirmed the identities of all of the victims, including the 3 12-year-old girls, Kylie Smith, Zoe Benoit, and Takara Lampert, a 12-year-old boy, Abel Mozwanza, and 13-year-old Ezekiel Schofield, a teacher at the high school. 39-year-old Shanda Avigana Duran was also killed, along with the suspect's mother, Jennifer Jacobs, and brother, Emmett Jacobs. CTV's Andrew Johnson is in Tumbler Ridge with more on how they are all being remembered.
Fresh tears near Tumbler Ridge Secondary School, where there is a steady stream of mourners determined to pay their respects, including BC Premier David Eby, who arrived in town last night, and Rick Patterson, who's lived here since 1983 and is one of the many trying to navigate their grief.
I think it's just a day-by-day and moment-by-moment thing.
For Patterson, the hardest part is feeling like the community failed its most vulnerable.
There's no protection there for them. They thought they were in a safe place, and I thought they were in a safe place.
Once a safe place, Tumbler Ridge Secondary is now the scene of a murder investigation. Police say the suspect, 18-year-old Jesse Van Rootselaar, murdered one teacher, 39-year-old Shanda Evaguana Durand, and 5 students there, and injured 27 others before turning the gun on herself. Among the victims, 13-year-old Ezekiel Schofield, 12-year-old Boal Mwanza, whose family online called him a brave kid with a bright future. 12-year-old Zoe Benoit is being remembered as a resilient, vibrant, and caring little girl. Also among those killed, 12-year-old Tikara Lampert, who friends say was a loving, courageous, and humorous girl who leaves behind 7 siblings. Their classmate, 12-year-old Kylie Smith, who was the light of her family's life, was also killed at the school.
I let her off. I let her go to school with her brother Ethan in the morning, and I had soaked in that moment watching them walk in the door together for whatever reason, and I didn't know it would be the last time they'd go to school together.
Police say before going to the school, Van Rootselaar killed her 39-year-old mother, Jennifer Jacobs, and 11-year-old stepbrother, Emmett Jacobs, at their family home. Community members say the love from Canadians across the country is helping them feel less alone during these dark days.
I love this place, I love this town, and now I love Canada even more because of what you have given to us.
She is not the only person we've heard that from. In the town, people tell us has long been known as The Rock. A great description today for the strength of this community. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Tumbler Ridge, BC.
27 people were also injured in the attack. Those who were inside the school at the time and survived are also sharing their stories tonight.
We knew there was a real situation, and my goal at the time was, I have these 15 kids to get out of here. I want these 15 kids to be safe.
I didn't really know what it was. I thought it was like someone dropping something. And then I heard like it again, and then I knew it was like a gunshot.
The alert went out, and at that point we realized this was very serious. And we took tables and put them against the doors to make it difficult for anyone that had tried to enter forcefully.
I called him and got him on the phone. And for 2.5 hours, kept him on the phone with me just to know that he was okay. There were a lot of tense moments when he was on the phone with me of not knowing because he had to be quiet.
Lost a loved one.
BC declared today a national day of mourning. A vigil took place last night, and another one is happening tomorrow. Prime Minister Mark Carney, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, and all other party leaders will be attending. Well, stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the mass shooting in Tumbler Ridge. For updates on radio, tune into News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News channel at any hour. Now to the latest on the ongoing OC Transpo woes. The issues continue on both the rails and roads. The opening of the O-Train East extension delayed yet again with no launch date in sight, and it appears bus trip cancellations will not get better for weeks. CTV's Leah Larocque joins us now with the details. Leah.
Well, Patricia, OC Transpo says it's taking a lot longer than anticipated to get back to double cars running on the Confederation line. Mechanics only able to fix 1 axle per day on average. Originally it was 2, and a big chunk of the bus fleet requires extensive maintenance work. Just when riders thought the countdown was on to ride a train all the way to Orleans, the timeline pushed once again, now till at least late spring or summer.
People in Orleans are starting to be very impatient, and like me, I got so impatient that I wanted to talk about it.
Hayden Haltink's commute until the eastern extension of the Confederation line opens is almost like an algebra equation.
I take 4 bus routes during non-peak hours. Sometimes it's 3. I take the 35, then I go to class. I take the 39, then I take the 1, then I take the 10. And if the tent's not working, I might have to go to Billings Bridge and then take another bus route just to get to Carleton.
OC Transpo says there are still issues that have to be fixed, including at station platforms. The line isn't ready to move to trial running yet.
Causes me concern when I hear no timelines, because what I actually hear is we don't know, and we absolutely must know what all major steps take as far as time and all the outstanding issues.
And then there's the issue with the buses, an aging fleet and not enough mechanics. When asked by councillors when service could resume to normal levels, staff said it could be late March, early April. Recently, more than 70 buses have required 30 or more days of maintenance work, and some buses sent out of town to be fixed.
I'm using that sort of barometer of that end of March, beginning of April, is when we can really start to see some significant improvements for our customers in terms of the service delivery.
Councillors say the system is in crisis.
This needs to be treated like an emergency water main repair, all hands on deck to fix this problem.
The union says the problem has been years in the making.
The last 7 years to 10 years in Ottawa has only been about the train. It was to save everything. It was going to fix everything. Well, hasn't fixed anything. Now we have a train and a bus problem.
To give you an idea of just how hard OC Transpo is trying to fix the bus shortage problem, they even considered using school buses to help out. But it wasn't feasible in the end. OC Transpo says one of the reasons is because various owners of those school buses are facing similar issues just like OC Transpo, lack of mechanics, and an aging fleet. Patricia.
So no comfy school buses for commuters then. All right, CTV's Leah LaRocque live for us tonight yet. Yes, and we are looking for Ottawa's worst commute. Do you use public transit? How long does it take to get to your destination? If you think you have Ottawa's worst commute on OC Transpo, contact us at ottawanews@ctv.ca. We want to tell your story and maybe set change in motion.
Still ahead, a message that matters more now than ever, the value of kindness. The focus of a summit here in Ottawa today. That story coming up.
Well, here's a live look now through our Centennial Glass Skycam. -7 out there in Ottawa right now. The sun has set on what was a really beautiful end to the day. As we get our first look at the weather, Jackie is at Igloo Fest in Gatineau. Jackie.
Yes, Patricia, how cool is this? We're just across the river here, and it is about an hour away before the gates open for what will be a wonderful outdoor music festival, and it's going to continue all weekend long. And what a way to wrap up Winterlude as well. And the conditions are pretty decent as well for not just this evening, but for the weekend. Right now, it is about -7 in Ottawa, -9 along the Seaway, slightly warmer at Kingston and Trenton, -5, -6 degrees. And it's going to just get down to about -15 for the overnight lows. It's going to be about -13 to kick things off tomorrow morning. Lots of sunshine in store as well, but then the partly cloudy conditions will start happening later tomorrow evening. -3 will be the daytime high. And when the clouds come, well, late for Friday evening, the snow will likely come too. Light snow expected. It won't last very long. We'll have those details for you and much more from here at Igloo Fest Gatineau. It is the second year in a row, and we will have more details from here and your weather forecast in just a bit. Patricia.
Well, an investigation is underway into the city's latest homicide. A 22-year-old man is facing charges in connection with a fatal shooting in the Manotick area yesterday. This happened near the intersection of Bankfield Road and Prince of Wales Drive just before 4:30 in the afternoon. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us now live with more. Caitlin.
Yeah, Patricia, the victim has been identified as 19-year-old Majed Al-R of Ottawa, and his death marks the third homicide in the city this year. Neighbors we spoke with describe a heavy police presence along the road. One neighbor who did not want to appear on camera says they saw first responders performing CPR on the victim. Another neighbor tells us they saw a person being taken into custody. Police say 22-year-old Hussein Kadora is charged with manslaughter, kidnapping, and possession of a restricted firearm. A second man was also arrested in connection with the incident. He suffered non-life-threatening injuries and has since been released from police custody pending further investigation.
This time, we do not know the connection of the people involved. That is part of the investigation. The investigators are also looking into where this incident had taken place. This is part of the investigation.
Kadora was scheduled to appear in court this afternoon. Anyone with information is being asked to contact the homicide unit or Crime Stoppers. Patricia.
CTV's Caitlin Wilson live for us tonight. Thank you. Well, police are also investigating a stabbing that happened near Algonquin College earlier this week. Emergency responders were called to the area around 5:15 Tuesday evening. When they arrived, they found a man with stab wounds. He was brought to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the suspect fled the scene and they are now looking for witnesses. A school bus driver is facing charges after a collision in Petawawa this morning. According to Ontario Provincial Police, the bus rear-ended an SUV at the intersection of Doran Road and Petawawa Boulevard. There were 19 kids on board. No one was injured. The 58-year-old school bus driver was charged with following too closely. Some significant changes are on the way for Ontario's colleges and universities. The province is overhauling the way it supports post-secondary institutions, which are facing massive financial challenges. The biggest change, ending the tuition freeze, which has been in place for 7 years. The government also announcing an additional $6.4 billion in funding over 4 years. And it's also changing OSAP to offer fewer grants and more loans. CTV's Natalie Van Roy is live now with those details. Natalie.
Patricia, the province is throwing a lifeline to Ontario's struggling post-secondary sector, but this also signals a challenging time ahead for students because not only will tuition be higher, the government is also cutting back on financial assistance grants for students. Ontario's colleges and universities face significant financial pressure after the federal government cut down on the number of international students admitted to the country. Starting this fall, schools will be able to increase tuition by up to 2% per year for the next 3 years. And after that, increases will be limited to either 2% or the average inflation rate, whichever is lower. Now, just one part of an overhaul of the cash flowing into a sector in a state of crisis.
This is the largest investment in post-secondary education in Ontario and Canadian history, bringing reliable, predictable funding to the sector for years to come. Starting in the 26-27 academic year, our new long-term funding model will provide $7 billion in operating funding to the sector every single year. That is a 30% increase over this year's funding.
There's also a dramatic cut to grants through the Ontario Student Assistance Program, OSAP. Starting this fall, students will receive a maximum of 25% of their OSAP funding as grants.
They set the fire and then they arrive, I won't say with a garden hose, but not what they need to put out the fire.
The government calculates higher tuition will cost the average college student an extra $66 a year. For university, it will cost an extra $170 more.
I think that's not fun. We already have pretty high tuitions.
We already have a lot of people struggling with the funds that they already have to pay.
I mean, if they're using like the reason that they're raising the money and they want to use that money to fund the secondary, that would be very helpful.
I think putting more money in the secondary will be good, but if prices go up for the tuition, it could also be bad.
They're already expensive as is now.
For me, I don't mind because personally I get OSAP.
Not ideal. Yeah, it's just kind of is what it is. I guess apply for more grants and do what you can.
The tuition changes go into effect beginning this September. Now, post-secondary institutions, especially colleges, relied heavily on international student tuition revenue after the government cut tuition fees by 10% and froze it at that level 7 years ago. Patricia.
CTV's Natalie Van Roy live for us tonight. Thank you. And we have extended coverage of the Ontario government's changes to tuition and funding for post-secondary institutions. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca. A lot for us to cheer for today at the Milano Cortina Olympics. Team Canada has seen a surge in its medal count, and both hockey teams showed their dominance on the ice.
Go Canada, go! Go Canada, go! Go Canada, go!
Well, students at St. Joseph's High School in Barrhaven had a chance to buy their way out of class today to watch the Canadian men's hockey team begin their quest for gold. It cost $5, and the funds support Jumpstart and the school's athletic banquet.
Well, today we're running an event to support our Olympic team for Canada versus Czechia at the hockey game, and it's just a fundraiser for our school, and we're doing a buyout where a bunch of people play a bunch of games, have food, and just having a good time.
With the games, they can win tickets to win a raffle.
Over 500 tickets were sold to the event. The school estimates around $2,500 was raised. CTV's Scott Hurst has more now on how the women's team and other Canadian athletes fared today.
A big day in short track speed skating. Courtney Sereau won bronze in the women's 500-meter. This is her second medal of the Games. Sereau was part of the team that won silver in the mixed relay earlier in the week. 4 Olympic Games, 4 medals for a Canadian athlete known as the King.
I'm very happy to win my 4th medal and 4 starts at the Olympic Games.
Opening ceremony flag bearer Mikhail Kingsbury landed back on the podium in Milano Cortina, a silver medal for the decorated Olympian. He finished with an identical score as the gold medalist, but lost the top spot through a tiebreaker.
This one I worked really hard for, and it was a tough one to get.
We will see Kingsbury again in the Dual Moguls event this weekend. Canada is celebrating another silver on the slopes, this time in snowboard cross. 24-year-old Elliot Grandin from Quebec also missing out on gold by the slimmest of margins.
Pretty good. I mean, it's another silver medal, so you can't really be too upset.
This is his 3rd Olympic medal and will have a chance to add to his personal total in the mixed snowboard cross team event on Sunday. On to the quarterfinals for the Canadian women's hockey team. The women beat Finland today 5-0 to close out their preliminary round with a record of 3-1. On the men's side, it was a relatively easy start to their Olympic program. The Canadian men won their opening match against Czechia 5-0. This is the first time we're seeing NHL players at the Olympic Games since Sochi 2014. The women's hockey team will begin the knockout round on Saturday. They'll face Germany in the quarterfinals. The men will be back on the ice tomorrow against Switzerland. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
And Ottawa's Rachel Homan and her team played their opener at the Olympics this morning. They were taking on Denmark and looked really good. They won this one 10-4. And Canada now sits 15th in the standings, still looking for their first gold medal, 3 silver and 4 bronze.
Hate will exist now, tomorrow. It existed in the past. But how can we reduce it?
With all of the heavy news, National Kindness Week is perhaps more important than ever. We'll have more on how faith leaders in Ottawa are coming together to spread messages of hope and kindness. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Patricia. In less than an hour, there's going to be international artists taking that stage, putting up an outdoor music festival. But there's so much to do here at Igloo Fest. You've got merch, you've got food, you've got a lot of activities in this wonderful space. And again, it's just across the Ottawa River here in Gatineau, and it will be here all weekend long. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, where we are showcasing Elgin Street, and lights are all lit up really nicely there too for Winterlude. The current temperature outside is -7.
Saving lives is what they do. February is Heart Month, and together we can support the University of Ottawa Heart Institute in providing world-class cardiac care.
For almost 50 years, our community has played a critical role in advancing the Institute's life-saving work. Your donation will support groundbreaking research, innovative patient care, education, and prevention. To learn more, visit FebruaryIsHeartMonth.ca.
Proudly sponsored by CTV. Today's snow report brought to you by Mont Cascade, only 20 minutes from Ottawa.
And here is today's snow report at Mont Cascade. 4 of 6 lifts are available and 20 of 21 runs. Elsewhere in the region at Calabogie Peaks, all 3 lifts are operating, 21 runs available, 5 of 7 lifts at Camp Fortune, and 23 runs, 2 of 5 at Edelweiss, and 19 runs.
An amazing ski day deserves an awesome place to warm up. At Mont Cascade, our lodge brings the mountains to life. Share great stories over great food at Mont Cascade.
Well, the City of Ottawa is looking to stomp out hate with kindness. Faith and community leaders came together today for a kindness symposium aimed at creating a safer, more inclusive and compassionate city. And data shows we may be headed in that direction. CTV's Dylan Dyson reports.
I'm asking all of you to join me in building a city of kindness.
After a year where there were prominent acts of hate and racism in Ottawa, Mayor Mark Sutcliffe is looking to change the narrative for the city.
Where we don't see racist graffiti being sprayed on a mosque or another religious institution, where we don't see hate-based violence occurring in our city. And I know that's an ambitious goal, but we must do everything we can to achieve it.
Faith and community leaders gathered for a City of Kindness symposium at City Hall Thursday with the goal of creating a safer, more inclusive Ottawa.
I spoke earlier about a woman who asked me more about my children's names and the history behind them and how that linked to my culture. That's an act of kindness to connect us where other people may just sort of gloss over it.
It was last August that a Jewish woman was stabbed by a stranger at a grocery store in Ottawa's West End.
It's still very tough for Jewish community members to feel safe and secure in public spaces. We've had tremendous outreach from other cultural communities, other faith communities, but it is tough.
But Ottawa police say hate-motivated incidents are on the decline after 2025 saw a 23% drop in such acts compared to the previous year.
The ultimate goal is to have a city where everyone feels safe, where everyone feels they belong, and where we have minimized or eliminated acts of racism and violence and hatred.
The Stittsville Muslim Association also suffered an act of vandalism last summer. The local imam says acts of hate will never be eliminated, but the goal is to minimize their occurrences.
If we stare and say every single day Islamophobia, then I don't have a chance to build. So you want to have a balance whereby which how do we build for a better future and not sit looking at the rearview mirror the whole time, or else we crash.
The city says a kindness action plan is set to be created.
It's important to look at the city of Ottawa as what could be done better. And this is one of the avenues, not the only avenue.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News.
And Kindness Week started here in Ottawa years and years ago, the inspiration of Rabbi Bolka. Well, after a week full of snow and cloudy skies, sunshine has returned to the capital. Beautiful blue skies above the Carlington Park sledding hill today. Gorgeous there. The good news is there is more sunshine in the forecast for the Family Day long weekend as we check our forecast now. And Jackie, when we first talked to you at 5, there was some pretty beautiful blue sky in behind you. That has changed now, but lit up and looking like a blasted Igloo Fest tonight.
Yes, so the gates have not opened yet. It's opening at 7 o'clock, but people are gearing up to welcome the guests for the second annual Igloo Fest here in Gatineau. And we'll get to more of that in just a bit. If you are coming down, what do I wear for this evening? Well, it's pretty mild conditions. We've got dry conditions as well that will extend to the weekend. It's about -7 degrees, and we've got that northwesterly winds moving through, but it's less than a breeze and less of the gusts that we've seen the last couple of weeks. Overnight lows about -16, -17 degrees, slightly warmer in Trenton where it's -14, -13 in Montreal. But the good news is it's a clear night to enjoy this music festival. Now, to tomorrow's daytime highs, -4 for Ottawa, -3 in Brockville, -5 in Cornwall. While there is a lot of sunshine, you can already see that by Pembroke, Bancroft, as well as Trenton, that we're going to start to see perhaps some light flurries moving through. This is likely going to happen in the late afternoon, early evening. And for here in Ottawa, we are likely going to see some light snow, but that won't be until the overnight hours. Now, here's a live look right now about what we can extend through for the weekend in terms of the warmth. So we are seeing that the trend is warming for pretty much all of Canada. Across the region, -1 for Halifax, Fredericton sitting around -2 degrees, and that's just for right now. Things are starting to warm up. -5 in Toronto, -4 in Windsor. And you're not seeing much in terms of heavy weather systems moving through. Lots of sunshine, really, including out west, where temperatures in Calgary right now, 10 degrees. They have been having a mild winter for sure. Vancouver sitting at 8 degrees. Now, as we look towards our 7-day forecast, brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Center, celebrating over 80 years in family business, you can see that we're going to have mainly sunny skies stretched not only Friday, but for our Saturday as well, where temperatures will be between -3 and 4. You can even see that overnight low sitting around -9. And while Saturday into Sunday will dip down to about -13, we are getting to about a daytime high about the freezing mark. And Family Day Monday, well, look at that. 2 degrees is the daytime high. And this Valentine's Day, you can express your love with the Charm Diamond Centers. From timeless classics to dazzling statement pieces, there's something for every love story. And we want you to celebrate that amazing person in your life. All you have to do, enter for your chance to win a $2,500 gift card to Charm Diamond Centers. You've got to scan that QR code on your screen to head over to ctvottawa.ca to enter now. Wishing you the best of luck. All right, Igloo Fest, Gatineau. It's just over the bridge and across the Ottawa River. It's going to be a 3-day festival, and there's going to be a family-friendly one for Saturday during the daytime. We'll have these details for much more from the organizers. We'll take it back to you, Patricia.
Winter festivals everywhere in Ottawa this weekend. Thank you, Jackie.
Unbelievably great feeling for a manufacturer, but winning it 2 years in a row is really something special.
Well, just ahead, the Canadian Car of the Year is announced at the Auto Show in Toronto. We'll share the winner after the break. Well, taking a look at the roads on this Thursday evening, for the most part, a pretty decent commute home. Conditions are favorable. Well, now some other stories you need to know right now. The Canadian government has updated its travel advisory for Cuba. Officials are now warning Canadians to avoid all non-essential travel to the island nation amid growing concerns about shortages of fuel, electricity, and basic necessities. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand says the government is working with airlines to help Canadians return home, and Global Affairs Canada consular officials are providing support. Air Canada, Air Transat, and WestJet have already suspended all flights to Cuba.
Unbelievably great feeling for a manufacturer, but winning it 2 years in a row is really something special.
The Canadian Car of the Year award was announced at the Auto Show in Toronto today, and the 2026 Honda Civic has hung on to the title for the second straight year. Other big winners include the Hyundai Palisade for Utility Vehicle of the Year, and the Porsche Taycan picked up the Canadian Electric Car of the Year award. Well, Toys R Us is on the cusp of closing more locations, according to new court documents the toy retailer announced last week. It filed for creditor protection while it works on restructuring. It's not known if the 2 locations in Ottawa will be affected. At least 53 Toys R Us stores have closed over the last 2 years. Well, taking a look at what will be open and closed in Ottawa on Family Day. If you're looking for something to do with your kids, the Winterlude Snow Bus will be running for free between Winterlude sites in Ottawa and Gatineau. Most museums will also be open. Rideau Centre and Tanger outlets will be open. All other malls, though, will be closed. Some grocery stores will be open, but LCBO and beer store locations will be closed. There will be no garbage and recycling collection Monday. It will be delayed by a day next week. And you can find a full list on our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca. And let's go back to Jackie now at Igloo Fest in Gatineau, where they're revving up, getting ready to go tonight, Jackie.
Yes, we are less than an hour, Patricia. The VIP tents are ready to go. We're actually in that section, and the view is quite awesome. The stage is just behind the co-president of Igloo Fest Gatineau. We have Alex Van Dieren. How awesome is this? This is year 2 for Igloo Fest Gatineau.
We don't know what to say. I mean, we didn't know what to expect on year 1. But we're expecting about 30 to 40% more people this year. And it was already kind of crazy last year. So, yes, we are thrilled. We're super excited. Almost no more room left for Steve Aoki Saturday night. So we have tonight and Friday night. But, yeah, it's very exciting.
International DJs. And the wonderful thing is, for people who don't know what Igloo Fest is, it is an outdoor music festival in the heart of winter. And Montreal has had this for many years, and you guys brought it here.
Yeah, in partnership with the team from Montreal, Quebec City, and now Gatineau since last year. It is the best way to celebrate the winter period during the night. At night in winter, usually we're sitting at home, right? But now we have 7, 8, 9,000 people celebrating, dancing together. And we had some people in T-shirt at -20 last year because the energy was so great. So, yes, it's fun.
And I love to say, people are like, what do I wear when I go to Igloo Fest? You see all the different things. You see the toques, you see the goggles, you see the fur, you see just wonderful jumpsuits as well from years past.
Anything you got from the 60s, 70s, 90s, 80s, colors, fur, everything that you think wouldn't fit anywhere else, it definitely fits at Igloo Fest. This is what you want to wear. You got. I'm pretty dull. I'm not even fun. You're halfway there.
Halfway there.
You can go absolutely crazy about it.
And final question, just it is this is for evening, a 19+ event, but for Saturday it's going to be a family-friendly event from 11 to 4 here.
Yeah. Yes, we're in Quebec, so 18 years old plus for the night. This is fun. And yes, absolutely family-free event from 11 to 4 p.m. Saturday. Bring the kids, the whole family.
I love it, and the conditions. Thank you so much. much, Alex. The conditions are going to be wonderful for it. We've got temperatures closer to the freezing mark, so no excuse. You got to find your way down here and experience Igloo Fest, whether with your friends, with your family, for the whole gang. Here, we'll take it back to you, Patricia, because we're going to party it up here very, very shortly.
You know, they do big outdoor concerts at 24-hour Tremblant every year. Super, super fun outside. Not wearing a T-shirt, though, but this looks like a blast. Jackie, thank you.
Nobody really knows why it's increasing in this young age group.
Well, coming up, two beloved actors, Catherine O'Hara and James Van Der Beek, both recently died of colorectal cancer, sparking public awareness about the disease. We'll let you know what symptoms to watch out for.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Well, February is Heart Month, and supporters of the University of Ottawa Heart Institute are helping light the capital red. TCU Development Corporation is a longtime supporter of the Heart Institute. Several members of the TCU family have personally relied on the foundation's services, making this support deeply meaningful. Well, two recent celebrity deaths, both related to colorectal cancer, are prompting experts to remind the public about screening. CTV's health reporter Pauline Chan has more.
What? Catherine O'Hara and James Van Der Beek had both been diagnosed with colorectal cancer before they died.
It's the fourth common cancer in Canada, and it's the third leading cause of death for both men and women. So these were very famous cases, but this is happening to average people every day.
And more cases recently are being diagnosed in younger people, aged 25 to 49. Van Der Beek was just 48 when he died.
There's a lot of research around this, but nobody really knows why it's increasing in this young age group.
Jen Waterman knows the importance of early detection. She was just 42 when she was diagnosed with stage 3 cancer in 2020.
When I talked about the symptoms, what I was experiencing, I really did think it was stress. Like, it was all in line. That's all I thought it was.
If colorectal cancer is caught early, by that we mean stage 1, it has not spread, the survival rates are 90%. And so we're looking at great statistics for survival. However, if it is caught at a later stage, the survival drops down significantly.
In Canada, screening is covered starting at age 50, but you may need earlier screening if you have symptoms like blood in your stools or a change in bowel habits, or if a close relative had colorectal cancer.
Meaning your mother, your father, or a sibling that has had colon cancer, you should be screened actually 10 years younger than the onset of that family member's disease.
These situations are also covered by OHIP.
I don't have any of the risk factors at all. I mean, not only being young, but there's nothing in my family.
Jen is grateful her doctor took her concerns seriously as soon as she mentioned them, and she says she owes her life to early screening. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Just ahead, is inflation impacting fast food brands? The parent company of Tim Hortons, Burger King, and Popeyes reports its earnings.
Far side pass, and it's an early shot. He scores!
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Heading into the last weekend of Winterlude, time now to check in with our iHeartRadio Weekender, Tanea Taylor. Tanea.
Kicking it off with Disney on Ice. Hit the road with Mickey Mouse and his pals at Canadian Tire Centre for Disney on Ice presents Road Trip Adventures. This one is so much fun for the whole family and features multiple shows starting today and running through Sunday. If you want to make some memories the kids will definitely never forget, make sure you check it out. Next on the list, Igloo Fest Gatineau is back this weekend, also known as the hottest dance floor of the winter, and it features over a dozen DJs taking the stage over the course of the weekend, plus food trucks, interactive fun on site, and lots more. Bring your friends and have some midwinter fun. Last up today, coming up on Saturday, your Ottawa 67s are taking on the Kitchener Rangers. 3 p.m. puck drop so you can bring the family and catch some hockey action before the season starts to wind down. Always so fun to cheer on your local hockey team at the arena at TD Place. As usual, lots more happening around the capital this weekend. For the full list and all the details, check ctvottawa.ca/weekenders. For the iHeartRadio Weekenders, I'm Tania Taylor. Have a great one.
iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford store, and Eastern Ontario's Ford EV leader.
Well, the parent company of Tim Hortons reported earnings today. BNN Bloomberg's Marilla Fernandez has the details.
Sales were up 7.4% at Restaurant Brands, which owns Tim Hortons, Burger King, and Popeyes. The company reported revenue for the quarter of $2.5 billion U.S., but inflation has been a drag for Restaurant Brands. The higher cost of coffee has hit Tim Hortons, and Burger King is paying 20% more for beef. As a result, the renovation of Burger King locations will slow down. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 73.45. West Texas Intermediate down to 62.65. Western Canadian Select is up to 48.55. And the TSX took another deep dive today, dropping 788 points. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Then across now for Jenner.
Well, coming up, we'll share when you'll be able to watch the Ottawa Charge at the Canadian Tire Centre this season. Jackie.
Thank you so much, Patricia. We have gone to the gates because the gates have not opened yet. So in the lineups, checking out the best dressed crew here. Derek, what's the inspiration very quickly?
The inspiration was to be as flashy, and I decided to go with sort of a spacey cowboy kind of theme. I've got some alien sunglasses in my bag.
Keeping nice and warm, keeping all dressed up. Who do we have here?
I just wanted to represent Canada. Let's go, Canada.
There we go. Yeah. Love it. And I'm loving the hats too. So if you see them tonight, make sure to say hi. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam showcasing downtown Ottawa. Not as cold as it has been the last couple of days, but if you want to bundle up because it's -7, it's going to cool down if you're heading to Igloo Fest.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Here's what's on CTV tonight. E-Talk, The Big Bang Theory, Next Level Chef, and back-to-back episodes of Sullivan's Crossing. And one final look at the forecast for anyone heading to Igloo Fest tonight or wondering how the week is going to end tomorrow. Jackie?
Yes, Patricia. Again, cool conditions tonight. -15 is the overnight low. So you definitely want to bundle up, but I'm sure a lot of people will be dancing up a storm. Tomorrow morning, kicking things off at -13. Clear skies will carry us through the most of our Friday. Sunshine in store, but keep in mind in the evening, overnight, we could see some light flurries moving through. -4 the daytime high. Saturday, -3, Valentine's Day, sunshine in store, and it's the final weekend of Winterlude. So much happening. Igloo Fest also part of this. Sunday, cloudy skies. Freezing mark is the daytime high. And look at Monday and Tuesday. 2 degrees, 3 degrees. So definitely quite the warm up that we're going to have for this long weekend for many people. So again, Igloo Fest, I see the line starting to form. Even more people coming, excited. First DJ hitting the stage at 7 o'clock. So we'll send it back to you in studio. I've got my Igloo Fest hat. We're going to have a good time tonight. See you later.
100%. Enjoy. Thanks, Jackie. And we are due a mild weekend, that's for sure. Well, we want to check in and see what our news team is working on for tonight. Natalie Van Roy is in for Stefan Keys this evening.
Thanks, Patricia. Well, we're taking a look at the Think Gala at the Rogers Centre downtown, where an awards ceremony is about to get underway. And this event highlights how the city's leaders drive economic impact and bring world-class events to the city. And also tonight, the Ottawa 67s back on the ice. The Barber Poles are on the road to face off with the Peterborough Petes. Puck drop is 7:05. The 67s are coming off a win yesterday, beating the Oshawa Generals 6-0 on home ice. Now get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca. And join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
All right, will do, Natalie. Thank you very much. And finally for us tonight, we've all been watching the Ottawa Charge players over at the Olympics. So cool to see them well represented. In just a couple of months, fans will have a chance to see them play at the Canadian Tire Centre.
Then across now for Jenner.
The Charge will be playing at the CTC on Friday, April 3rd, taking on the Montreal Victoire. Last year, when the team played out in Canada, they set an attendance record with more than 11,000 fans. At April's game, there will be a special giveaway. The first 6,000 fans will receive a limited edition Emily Clark bobblehead, which is awesome. It's so cool to see them in that big space. I love the games at Arena at TD Place too, but it's just a different sort of feeling.
Different vibe.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be tons of fans again.
Yeah, and if you're a fan in Canada, it's nice because, you know, they're used to having hockey close by, so this way they get to take in the women's game. But it's been super fun watching all of these games at the Olympics. Tough to get any work done in the morning, but
I know.
Very entertaining, yeah. Those kids had the buyout today. Like, we need a buyout at work. We can just do that. Thank you very much for being here. Please do join Natalie at 11:30 tonight, and we'll see you again tomorrow to wrap up the week.